following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
When the blue and gold were younger and they knew they had to show, just a big defensive redhead who knew how to block 'em low. The Sabres keep on skating down the wings of long ago. From the likes of Bruce and Ramsey, from the likes of Gilles Perreault. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate the tradition.
Celebrate 20 years of great fans in a great hockey town.
Thank you, Buffalo.
Come on, come all. Welcome back to the Retroactive Sports Podcast. I'm Andrew. He's Johnny, bringing you some great retro sports history things. There you go. There's my intro. In every way.
Yeah. High energy. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, and take me out to the ball game.
I'm trying to remember how to say this person's last name so I don't offend a fictional person.
Yeah, I'm very excited about us talking about a person who doesn't exist.
Yes, that is what we are talking about today. Is what would you say? The curious case of Taro Tsujimoto.
Yeah, just like I would say it.
You know, I could say so many Japanese names so great, but I don't know why this one is just killing me.
Well, you're defeating me in that, then I cannot. I butcher so many names that I feel awful about it.
Taro Tsujimoto. There we go.
Taro Tsujimoto.
Yes.
Look at that. I got it.
He is the fictional man of this subject today. Man that made a lasting impact on the NHL draft that he never existed. So pretty much he came about. Johnny, have you ever been in a meeting where you're like, this has been an email? Why are we here?
Yes. Yep. Many. I famously have said that most meetings are literally just to set up the next meeting.
Yeah, I've actually used people.
Incidents.
I've actually used somebody to get a meeting just because I didn't feel like working at one point.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes meetings are welcome because you're not working when you're at a meeting.
Yeah. Well, that's only because +2 is kind of like a prank. Like in this case, our GM was out and we had one of the managers was so our GM was out. It was like the two managers, and then I was like on this little committee too. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna mess with this guy because he was like the goody, but he really didn't know what he was doing half of the time. So I was like, since Bill's out, we should have a meeting. Just kind of as a joke, just throwing it out there, see what happens. Next thing you know, 2 seconds comes back in an email. Yeah, we should meet up in the conference room in about 5 minutes. I'm like, is this guy serious?
Man, when the General Motors is out, everybody plays.
Yeah. But this all stems from also the World Hockey Association. I know you're a huge hockey fan, so you know
giant. Yeah.
You know all about the World Hockey Association.
I'm becoming more and more a fan, and the more I see these lady fans of hockey, I will say.
No Oilers fans in this one. So in 1971, the World Hockey Association comes in, and they're like the ABA. There you go. I'll put it in.
Okay, yeah, that I do understand.
So like in the AFL, so they're kind of like poaching players. They're like, hey, we could beat out they're the WCW or the AEW.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get people. So the National Hockey League says, we're going to do our draft in secret in 1974. We're going to do it secret over the phone in person. Now you're thinking conference call. right?
Yeah,
Everybody on the
yeah.
No, no, that's not how it works. What it worked is the president, Clarence Campbell, would call you. So if I'm Clarence Campbell, and
Mhm.
for this sake, because you're a big Oilers fan,
Yeah, giant.
and you're the Edmonton Oilers, who are actually in the World Hockey Association right now, so that didn't work out good for any of this thing. Um, you're the Chicago Blackhawks.
No,
Okay.
okay, I'm fine. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I forgot. You're like 164th Cherokee. I didn't mean to do that. I just thought of an original 16. Okay. So I call you, and before you can even say, hey, we pick Joe Schmuckatelli from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, which that is a real place. Uh I would read you the list of every player taken in the draft.
Oh, that would not get old at all.
And there are like 20 something rounds, I believe.
Oh, good Lord.
Let's see, 1974. You're looking at. Okay, so you could like defer your pick, but there is 25 rounds. Still, I would have to call you and read off pretty much everybody that was picked.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So Sabres general manager there, Punch Imlach, was like, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
This is
Who
boring.
would?
I hate it. I've made my picks. I'm done. So him and the director of communications for the Sabres say, let's make up a fictional guy. Let's show how stupid this whole process.
Okay.
I do, and they're like, okay, well, what kind of person can we get? You can't just have a regular name, somebody that would know or anything like that. So they're like, let's think of a Japanese player.
Okay.
And the um the director, Paul Whalen, the director of communications, remembers driving back and forth to school from a place in New York to Buffalo, St. Bonaventures, pretty big university around there, and then to Buffalo. And he noticed that there was always this like Japanese like grocery store called Tsujimoto.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they're like, hey, let's use that. And this is the other crazy thing. So they call up the place. They call up Tujimoto's and they're like, hey, can we use your last name? And they're like, okay, yeah, not a problem. And they also say, can you like give us, like a popular Japanese first name? And I go, Taro. So he's like, okay, Taro Tsujimoto. I screwed that up there. And they're like, well, where can he be from? Well, we know he's from Japan. So, you don't want to say Tokyo.
Right. Yeah. It's too easy.
It's too
Yeah.
easy. He's from Osaka. He's from Osaka, Japan. But who did he play for, Johnny? If you're going to be on the Sabres, what's another sword team that you should be from in Japan?
Oh, to the katanas.
That is correct.
Oh, I was thinking Leonardo.
Yeah. No, they said he was a 25-year-old hockey player from Osaka, Japan, who put up 15 goals and 25 points in the season before the draft, and he played for the Tokyo Katanas.
Oh, it sounds like a promising prospect.
Yes, in the fictional Japanese hockey league. So they literally sent it in that they picked Taro Tsujimoto, and he played of the Tokyo Katanas. And this was in the 11th round of this pick because already Punch Inglak was like, I'm done with this. I picked all my players that I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
And that. But the thing is, it's really only him and like the director of communications knew that this guy was fake. So the owner didn't know he was fake. Like nobody else knew. And so it was this big thing. Oh my goodness, who is this guy? What,
Yeah.
I mean, like, wow, we got the first ever Japanese born player coming over here.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. Yeah.
Yes. But and there was no scouting in Asia, probably not like there is today.
Right. Yeah.
And well, plus two, you couldn't go over to Russia back then. That was kind of a hard thing. RIP the Cold War. But
Yeah. Rest in peace, Cold War. Oh, we miss you.
I loved my anti-Russia propaganda in school.
Living in fear every day. We miss it. Oh, there's just other versions of it today, so don't you worry.
Yeah, my kids ask me about that. They're like, "So, were you ever afraid of war?" Every single day.
Yeah.
Since I was
Every
like,
day. Every
since I was
day.
like 5 until the Berlin Wall came down. That's all we were told was Russia's
Yes.
coming for you. It's like the Panderverse when Cartman's like, Kathleen Kennedy's gonna get you. As kids, it was Russia's gonna get you. But it wasn't until training camp when everybody found out that this guy just didn't exist and it was a hoax. And Clarence Campbell put the pick as an invalid claim. And that's what it is officially in the record book for Taro Tsujimoto, is that he is an invalid claim for that draft. And a lot of people are like, hey, they could have picked some players that went on to help teams win Stanley Cups. But really, I don't think that matters because I think
No,
that's
I
so
mean,
cool.
from what you've described to me, it would sound like a very tedious time
Mhm.
of every time you get the call, you got to wait for them to list all the names that have been picked. And then you got to look at all the names that have not been picked and pick one of those names from there. And that would take forever, especially when you're getting like past 10 rounds.
Yeah, that's where he's at. So Tsushimoto to this day, you will see Sabres fans wearing jerseys. In 2011, Panini America created a Taro Tsujimoto hockey card.
They gotta hang his jersey in the rafters.
They don't have many. But yeah, he uh he's actually had New Era sold uh Tokyo Katana hats to commemorate the 40th anniversary of Tujimoto's draft selection.
That does sound like a pretty kick-ass team name, though. I will say the Katanas.
Tokyo Katanas.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, but this all just stemmed from somebody being bored, and I felt like you would appreciate this little short, funny moment in sports history.
It's that's pretty great. That is pretty great. It does sound like something that like I would do just because I'm bored and I think it's funny. Famously in my church, this was obviously a while back. They were putting together the Mennonites. Us Mennonites were really well known for cooking and food and stuff like that. So they decided we're going to put together a cookbook that anybody can use, right? And they were like, anybody can submit.
Oh no!
Can submit their recipes, and we'll print it in the book. And I said, anyone? They said yes.
Oh.
Despite the fact that they've known me because I grew up in that church, and I've never once fixed anything and brought anything. And I gave them the recipe for Kool-Aid, and it was wrong on purpose.
How did you still go to that church?
They loved me there for some reason. I also one time they were trying to make a new church directory, so they wanted everybody to kind of dress up because they hired a photographer and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have fun with this because I didn't want to do it. And I found this wig. I have to send you the picture. This ridiculous hat, this facial hair, and I borrowed my buddy's trumpet.
Oh, I've seen that picture.
Yeah, that's what that picture's from.
I've seen that picture.
That's what that's from. And that picture is in the church directory to this day.
Jeez. How did you not get kicked out? Is it because they felt like you still needed to be like saved or something? So they were like,
no, I think it's because they I mean I grew up in there and I was I probably did push boundaries per se, but like I was never. They knew that they could trust me. I was never going to, do anything ridiculous, stupid that would jeopardize anybody or anything like that. But they also knew that I was definitely out for the joke first. And to be fair, a lot of churches need somebody like that.
True. My church had Lex Luger.
That's a huge brag.
I met him. He called me brother.
Oh man, I get it. You're cool.
I want to brag, but me and my best friend Lex Luger. He wouldn't know who I was today.
Oh man. Side note, I've been watching Clipped, the Clippers TV show, and I watched the newest episode, and it was blah.
It was
but I did also, because it's got me so intrigued with the history of the Los Angeles Clippers. I watched a little documentary that was about Sterling. It's from like 5 years ago. And Donald Sterling, when he first bought the Clippers when they were in San Diego before he moved them, he had this contest where this fan was brought out to the court, and if he hit 9 out of 10 free throws, he'd win $500. Right? So this guy gets up to the line, and he hits 9 out of 10 free throws. Well, Donald Sterling's like, well, you know what? If you do that again, it's double or nothing. If you do 9 out of 10 one more time, you get $1,000. But if you don't, you get nothing. That guy goes up to the line. Guess what? He goes 9 out of 10 again. Spoiler alert, Donald Sterling never paid the guy.
No, because he's a giant scumbag.
Never paid him, to the point where the guy actually ended up suing him for $1,000.
You just listen to those 30 for 30 podcasts on the Sterling tapes, and you'll just realize how big of a scumbag this guy was. And
yeah, garbage.
The NBA just enabled him in every way.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Everybody.
It's wild. It's wild what money will cover up.
Yeah. But I think that is it for the curious case of Taro Tsujimoto. It's
Have there been any other instances of, I'm sure there have, of somebody claiming that this quote unquote athlete is like the next second coming, but they actually don't even exist?
Bobby Knight did a fake thing for recruiting.
Oh.
I do know that.
Did he pretend to throw a chair?
No, that's funny. When I was looking up Bobby Knight, it came up with chair.
Well, it's gonna be the first thing, right? That's the most famous thing. Charity choked a kid.
Yeah, NCAA coach. Yeah, he by creating a fictional 6'8" player named Ivan Renko. And I guess but I guess it went so far where people were like, yeah, I seen this guy, and they had scouting reports. Because he was another one that wanted to put out there like how stupid the whole recruiting draft process or the process is of these guys going out to scout these players.
Yeah, it's even worse now. Like they're scouting like middle schoolers now.
Yeah, so he was like, you know what? I'm gonna make up this guy and call him Ivan Renko.
Man.
Yeah. While Ivan Renko was completely fictional, a few recruiting services began listing him as a prospect, complete with in-depth description and of his potential and game style.
Game style. That's impressive for somebody that's not real.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And I know like other crazy things like in the draft, like in the older days of the NFL draft, a guy just realized that he got drafted like 2 years ago, but he got drafted in like the 40s.
Yeah.
Like there's that type of stuff.
Well, also I wanted to take a moment too, as we're winding down here. The sports world has in a recent span lost some legends. Bill Walton obviously recently passed. Jerry West recently passed, and then literally last night, as of this recording, Willie Mays passed away. So
Say
we
hey,
lost some.
kid.
Hey, kid. Yeah, we've lost
Oh.
some legends. No, I know what you're talking about. That's what he was called. He did that. Was it called like a commercial? Is that what that was?
No, I think it's a lot of people just kept on saying,
Oh, hey, kid.
yeah.
Who was the This is a way outside. For whatever reason, that keeps making me think of that very famous. It's been parodied a lot. I think it's a football player who's walking uh down like it seems
Mean
like it's
Joe,
after a game.
Mean Joe Green.
Oh, and there's a kid who comes up and he goes, "Hey, kid," and he throws him his jersey or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that parodied a bunch.
Yeah, that's Mean Joe Green. They kind of do it with the Bret Hart thing.
Yes. Yeah. Did you know that he hates Goldberg?
I didn't know that. Do you know
I just found this out.
he is such an angry man.
I think Goldberg's kind of getting tired of it. The last interview I heard is like, he goes, "Man, I've apologized as many times as I can." And he goes, "And you knew the kick was coming. Put your hands up."
Was it supposed to kick me? Yeah, I saw Willie Mays last night. That's my MLB goat is Willie Mays.
Oh, gotta be at least in the conversation, right?
That's my guy, Willie Mays. Big fan of Willie Mays. You know what's creepy is I sent Willie Mays in a Mets uniform over to Matt.
Oh, for his
MLB players in different uniforms.
let's shout out all of Matt's stuff because it fits our show. Our buddy Matt runs these Instagram pages, and they're very fascinating. They're taking a player that you're used to see them in a certain uniform or jersey, but when they played for teams that you maybe don't remember, or like it's kind of jarring to see them in that jersey.
Yeah, he does all four major sports, MLB. Let me find these because
Yeah, let's give them the proper shout out that they deserve.
yep, because he's also on Facebook. So it would be NFL players in other uniforms, MLB players in other uniforms, NHL players in other uniforms, and NBA players in other uniforms. And then if you're into wrestling, he has pro wrestlers and other gimmicks.
Yeah.
So go check those out.
Yeah, they're very fun. So make sure you check them out.
Yep.
I helped him with his Muggsy Bogues recent post. I don't want to brag or anything, but
Oh, I did a Kemp with the Magic.
oh yeah. He asked me, he goes, which team would be more jarring for Muggsy Bogues? Would it be the Bullets or would it be the Warriors? Okay, it's 100% the Warriors. There's a very famous picture with him and Nuke Bowl and the Bullets.
Yeah, it's the Warriors. It's definitely the Warriors. Definitely the Warriors.
Definitely. Yep.
But that is it. Go check out those pages because our friend Matt does a wonderful job on there, and he's helped us grow, so we need to help him grow
Yeah.
his content. So with that being said, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.